commuters on the Ofankor-Nsawam road are calling on authorities to fix the deteriorating guardrails that line the stretch to prevent accidents. According to residents and drivers, numerous complaints about the poor state of the facility on the stretch has fallen on deaf ears. They fear the weak nature of the structure as a result of previous crashes is a ticking time bomb. The recent accident on the Dumpuasi Road has been a wake-up call for commuters there as they demand attention to this important component of the road's infrastructure. There's more in this report by Kenneth Awachidako and Michael Wikia.
The year 2020 for some Ghanaians got off to one of the deadliest starts. The crash at Dumpuasi last week claimed 34 lives, leaving many others injured, maimed and orphaned. Breadwinners and loved ones lost in an instant. It is 11:45 a.m. at the Ofankor barrier in the West district of the Greater Accra region. Amid the heat and the slow traffic, one cannot help but notice the faulty nature of the guardrails that flank the stretch. These components are supposed to secure the edge of a road which happens to be on a higher ground to prevent vehicles from falling off. But the mangled metals bear evidence of countless crashes over the years, which the drivers are clearly not oblivious to.
Those in charge always ply this route, but they ignore it. It is unfortunate these rails constructed with taxpayers' money would be allowed to suffer these damages.
The 17.4-kilometer Ofankor-Nsawam two-lane dual carriageway was inaugurated in June 2006 as part of the Accra-Kumasi Highway. The road connects communities such as Pokwase, Amasaman and Sapemang to the central business district of Accra. But at portions of these rusted rails on the 20-meter-long flyover bridge over a railway line in the area are what seem to be causing drivers' worst fears. Samuel Awet and Kwesi Sapong are cab drivers who ply the route daily.
There was an accident here 3 days ago involving a 40-footer articulated truck. It rammed into and broke the guardrails. That's the only thing that prevented the vehicle from fully crashing into the ditch.
The situation is even worse for us drivers who handle smaller cars. The least miscalculation topples our vehicles.
At the Jontai Junction, residents say they bent a portion of these metals to aid in crossing the road since there was no footbridge to serve that purpose.
It's very dangerous, and when you are crossing and a car is coming with a speed, it's dangerous to you, a human being crossing. We don't have to wait for something bad to happen before we do something about it. Once we have seen it spoiling, we have to do something about it. So we are appealing to government to come and do something about it.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, in his presentation of a 2020 budget statement, reiterated government's commitment to focus on roads. For commuters along this stretch, a deliberate effort to improve the Ofankor-Nsawam route will be one that they will look out for. These road users say they are not willing to sit unconcerned while Ghanaians increasingly become statistics in bloodshed.
And our hashtag is ArriveAlive, hashtag ArriveAlive. You want to stay safe on the road. Now, Deputy Managing Director in charge of Finance and Administration at the Intercity SDC Coaches Limited says speed limiters on buses are one of the effective ways of reducing road carnage. Nana Ujubi Amponsa Note says all buses owned by the company have speed limiters which do not allow drivers to go beyond 100 kilometers per hour. In an interview with JoyNews as part of our campaign, ArriveAlive, which is aimed at reducing the carnage on our roads, Madam Note said STC drivers, irrespective of their qualifications and experience, go through at least 1 month mandatory training at the company's driving school before starting work. These and many others, she says, have contributed to their success story of avoiding accidents involving STC buses.
For STC, with our long hauls, we always have a second driver. So there's a spare driver who should take over in times where the driver is actually tired. So with us, I mean, our drivers are human as well, but when fatigue sets in, you're supposed to stop for the second driver to take over.
A lot of people have pointed to STC as the reference point when it comes to safety on our roads. They say that your drivers really adhere, to all traffic regulations and all of that. What is the secret of STC, and how are you able to keep your drivers, in check? What mechanisms have you put in place to ensure all of these?
Okay, so first of all, to be hired as an STC driver, you should have the license F. That's a prerequisite.
Okay.
Once you are, once you come, your application, which comes with your license, a proof of your license, then you actually go through rigorous training, at our training school. We have an ultra-modern training school, which I will take you there from here. Go to our training school. We have simulators. We have experienced trainers at the training school. I think the training is about a month. Yes, because there's a theory aspect of the training. You'll do the simulator, because the simulators actually have different road conditions, different weather, and all that. And then after that, we actually do the physical road test to ascertain as to whether you can actually drive, the coaches or not. Then we also do the medical exam, which includes the drag tests. Our buses also have the speed governors. You cannot go more than 100 kilometers per hour, even if you try to.
Whoa.
So that's something that STC does to ensure the safety, of our drivers and our passengers as well.
Have you had instances where a driver applies, he's qualified for the job, but goes through training, but you do not deem him fit to drive an STC bus, so you would have to drop him?
Oh yes, it happens all the time. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And what would make you drop a potential STC driver?
Like I said, sometimes with driving, different people have their own ways of driving, but we have the sets, we have our ways in which you should drive. So if you come and your whole mindset, you're not adaptable to change, to drive the way STC wants you to drive, unfortunately, we cannot employ you as a driver. Because the people have different driving habits. Some may be good, some people may drive with just one hand with their hands here. That is actually not an STC standard. So after the theory, after practicals, and then we realize you're still doing that, unfortunately, we'll have to drop you. There's so many other reasons, that would actually make us drop you as a driver.
Another interesting thing that you talked about is the guardrails, the speed guardrails, and how you limit your drivers, the speed limiters, how it limits your drivers to just 100 kilometers per hour. So it means they can go beyond the 100 kilometers.
You cannot go beyond 100 kilometers per hour.
Can you tell me the benefits, of that?
Since if there's you're driving, you see something happening, based on the speed that you're going, braking could help or fail. So with 100 kilometers per hour, it helps save certain situations. Also, unnecessary overspeedings, unfortunately, you cannot do. So that actually helps.
Now, I'm sure you've interacted with other people in the transport, industry within that particular space. Is it something that is happening, for some of the private, transport companies that we know? Is it something that they also do?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so, because I've been on the road and, experienced other, transport operators, their buses overtake about 4 or 5, vehicles also going about 100 kilometers, So I know that obviously that speed limiter is not on those vehicles, but I can't say for sure because I haven't gone to examine. The driver has just returned from a trip. You don't schedule the driver, for the next trip because they may be tired. And then also for long hauls, I would, expect that you'd have a spare driver in case the driver is tired or, falls sick, or touch wood, anything happens to the driver, you can fall back on the spare driver.
We've had a lot of calls about dualizing, our roads. There are many who have raised concerns about the single lanes. They're saying that we can reduce head-on collisions if we dualize our roads, because then you didn't have another driver veering into the lane of an oncoming vehicle. Some of them have mentioned to us that road markings are a bit of a problem, and it contributes to the crashes that we experience. What do you make of that suggestion that we should dualize our roads? And even today, I heard someone saying that for accident hotspots, we should construct speed ramps at accident hotspots, places that we know are prone to accidents.
If you ask me, I would say I do agree with the dualization of our roads, but we need to ensure that our roads are duly marked, because that helps a whole lot. Sometimes at night, even when visibility is poor, you drive, following the lines that you see. So I am for dualization and the road marking.
Aside from the safety measures put in place here at the State Transport Company, it also has a very rigorous maintenance regime. In this big workshop, all vehicles that travel outside the Greater Accra region come back here for them to go through checks before they hit the road again. I've been speaking to the Deputy Manager of Technical Services and the workshop manager here at SDC.
Yes, what happens is that after every trip, the buses are supposed to be to the workshop, and then we do some kind of routine checks to see whether when they went on the journey, they had certain challenges. Sometimes the drivers report challenges. So they bring those challenges here. We make sure we work on them before they get back on the road. And that has always been, yeah.
That has always been the practice.
Yes.
So what would you look out for when the car comes back from the trip?
When it comes back, we have to check whether the tires are in good condition, whether the bellows are in place. Bellows, normally the stability of the bus, you see that when it's goes up and down like that, they are controlled by what we call air bellows. If all the systems on the bus is in good condition, obviously when it's on the road, you hardly hear of crashes. When tires are worn, for instance, tires are worn and it's on the road, the likelihood of the bus maybe veering off the road because of a bad tire is great. So those are some of the reasons. And one good thing is that we have service stations all over the country. We have one in Tamale, we have one in Kumasi, one in Takoradi, and here, So wherever the buses go, not necessarily the head office, they may have to report at the station. So you see that our eyes are always on the buses, making sure that they are in good condition. And then that aside, you add the drivers as well, the condition of the drivers, making sure that all the time they are awake and alert, not looking tired. Yeah.
The hashtag is still ArriveAlive. The Deputy Managing Director of STC has been endorsing our ArriveAlive campaign.
Hi, my name is Nanejubi Amponsa-Norte, Deputy Managing Director for Finance and Administration for Intercity STC Coaches Limited. I support Joy FM's ArriveAlive. My advice to drivers is to get enough rest and arrive alive.
Certainly, you want to arrive alive. Well, the issue of street light can be said to describe as one of the Ghana's utmost priority. There have been damaged street lights causing low visibility and posing threats to drivers and pedestrians. In the wake of road accident, poor visibility has been named as a contributory factor to the accident. The National Road Safety Authority, in its quest to solve the problem organized a stakeholders meeting with the Electricity Company of Ghana, feeder roads, urban roads, MCEs, and the Ghana Highways Authorities so they can have a solution. Here are excerpts of what went on.
The night, everywhere is dark, and you see the roads dark as well, making driving on such roads very, very, very difficult. There are street lights, but you find most of them not functioning at various times when we need them most. And the complaints are that the bulbs or lack of funds to maintain and so on, various reasons. We think that it is very, very important that we have lights, street lights on our roads, especially in the cities. If we are able to do that, then it is possible that we can minimize or eliminate most of the night or darkness-related crashes in the country. Anytime you question, then we point hands blaming each other. Who is responsible and how do we move forward from here? Today, we have called you as stakeholders to discuss this particular subject. Let us start from somewhere. And as we move forward, we will then know who is responsible for what is creating the problem, and how we can solve this particular problem.
Let's stay safe on our roads. ArriveAlive. Join us on social media on the hashtag ArriveAlive. This is still the pulse with me, Gifty Andor.